Good afternoon, people. I go by the name of Classy Coco, and you already know how it goes. Today, I'm just checking in with myself, to be quite honest. But I thought I'd share that. Well, I'm still pondering whether I should share it, but I'm just checking in with myself because I feel a bit fucked. And it's been about 6 weeks since I last saw or spoke to the person that I was seeing. And I'm very proud of myself for not picking up my phone to call, for not sending a text saying, oh, I can't believe that this is how you do me after everything that I went through, after all the times I forgave you, la-di-da, la-di-da. And honestly, that's how I feel. But those things have been said time and time before, from the first time. And I don't think my lesson's complete yet, because I don't feel professional at this yet. But I feel very proud of myself because I don't know what's going on with me, but I'm going to try and be honest. I keep downplaying certain things just to sound sane, but I am sane, or maybe I'm not. You can decide. But yeah, when I was with my ex, I felt really, really connected to him. And the connection was so intense that it's like I could feel him. I could feel his energy. And so I could even feel when he was having sex with other people. Well, that's how it felt. And whenever that would happen and I would call him, the response and the behaviours after match what I felt. So, but that feeling to me was very crazy, and I searched up and down the internet for answers. Now, before that, I did have an idea that I was an empath because I feel energy, like I just feel energy. But this energy that I was feeling from my ex was like it was very overbearing, and it mixed with minds, and so it felt as though it was me. And so I'd convinced myself I was imagining it. Now, I don't have no explanation nor proof about what I was experiencing, but that's how it felt. So you can imagine every day was torture, especially when the relationship started going downhill and I'm connected. I feel like I'm connected to this person energetically, but physically we were growing apart. It was really weird, a really weird space to be in. And I was just going crazy because I'm like, okay, I don't want this man, but as soon as I wake up in the morning, he's the first thing in my head. Every minute, he's just in my head. I just wanted it to stop. Imagine like something just constantly playing in your head. And it gets to the point where it's so annoying. Annoying isn't even the word, because it feels painful. Imagine a type of pain that is not the pain that we know. But I would feel this pain, like a heaviness on my soul, in my mind. So anytime when things would go wrong, I would call him back, always call back, always. I would even apologise, bruv, even when I was right. I knew I was right, but I just apologised because I just wanted his energy to be okay, so that his dark, negative energy did not possess mine and make me feel like I couldn't fucking breathe or think. So it was a hostage situation when I really think about it. But because I had no trust in myself, I just thought that something's wrong with my mind and it's me. So I wanted to die. And I'm not going to even talk about that because that made me feel even more like a dickhead. Like, home girl, you can't even fucking have a relationship without fucking wanting to dead. And when I got out of that situation, it was really horrible. And it wasn't like any other relationships that I've experienced where two people, even if you grow apart or even if there's a problem, you are able to communicate. You may not stay friends, but it's just normal communication with him. It's like he's my enemy still to this day. And we have a child together, but he acts like I'm his enemy when I never done anything wrong. In fact, I apologise for everything he done wrong, and I looked after him during his weakest times, and he always came to me for all of his problems. So that's something that I've accepted, and I don't even have no feelings towards it, but it is really weird. So now, in this relationship that I've had, I never wanted to end up as bad as I was in the last one because I really lost weight. I couldn't eat. I was on milkshakes just for vitamins when I was pregnant. Like, I was fucked. And he was getting mad at me because I'd lost so much weight. So I was making him even more sick, I guess. I don't know. So I said I don't never want to feel like that again. But because I like to operate in authenticity, obviously I approached this relationship with my authentic self, which might have not been, the person that people think I am or perceive me to be, which is how I am. There's a soldier mode to me. A lot of men are attracted to me because they like bitches and I fucking look like one, I guess. But I'm far from it. So I went into that relationship being on my P's and Q's, but thinking that this is the one. Like, I can't go through all of that to then go through it again. But it started, and I picked up when it started, and I recognized when I was losing my strength. I remember talking to him, and I remember writing it down because I'm not really in touch with my feelings. I'm more in touch with other people's feelings, and writing down how he was making me feel. And to me, it was very straightforward. I just state this. We're going to talk about how we can communicate better, or I can understand by how he responds to me. So that was my first red flag, and I should have let go then. I don't even want to go into the rest of the background story of that because it's so embarrassing that I don't think I'm anything special. Well, I am in God's eyes, but I'm just here. I'm not rich. I'm just a humble person. So I've spoken to him about this, and his response was basically he didn't give a fuck. And he actually put the phone down on me because he said I was annoying him. That was the first time that I had saw behaviours that made me go back into my old trauma. It's like it started opening the old wound, which I had not really gotten over, even though I had been celibate and on my own for years after that. And so I guess the hope was still there, because I stuck around, even though I said I'm not going to do this no more. I kind of shut down, and we spoke again, and he was still being rude about it, but then he spoke about it, and it was much different than my last experience where I had to apologise and stuff. He actually was quite sympathetic with his tone of voice, and my ex was very aggressive towards me in terms of his tone of voice when I would have any issue, or just when he wanted to be rude, I guess. But this one, he's very gangster, but he's not rude. So even if you start swearing at him, he would actually ask you to stop swearing because he can't take the argument. But so I stayed. Time went on, and I kid you not, so many disrespectful things that I have never been through so many first experiences that I had never been through, this person took me through. And he had the most gentlest touch and energy towards me when we would be together physically. So that obviously created cognitive dissonance within me. On one hand, I have this perfect man that matches my vibration, and he makes me feel like a woman, and I feel like he's a man. I don't know if that makes sense, because there's some men that are just, they don't have what it takes to make me feel feminine, but he had what it took. So that felt so beautiful to me, and even right now I'm stopping myself from crying because it felt so beautiful. I felt almost like a little girl again. I felt like I could be feminine. I guess I'm just so used to being a soldier. So yeah. So anyway, after that, he would promise to change. But it was so bad that he would do that, and then literally a day later or 2 days later, not even like a month, or he'd just do the same thing he was doing before, like not answering his phone. And that's fine if you want to be like that, but I don't want to be part of that. And I was listening to what he would say, and then he'll come back, and I just thought, this is mad. Like, I literally knew this is actually mad. Like, I figured it out. Like, a lot of men are used to this link-up lifestyle, and I'm not one of those link-up girls. I don't sleep with anyone for fun. I don't say, oh yeah, I'm not even like attracted to people based on like what they drive and all the superficial stuff. I'm very deep. And so I feel like from where we're from, there's a lot of girls that are out clubbing all the time and that have links and that cheat. Like, there's, my baby father even told me, like, there's bare people's baby mothers that he beat, and they be acting like they're good girls, so they don't even trust none of us anyway. And I look a bit rough and tough sometimes. I got afro puffs. He told me I favor lady rage. But anyway, so this man would just pop in and out. And I guess he recognized that I wasn't like who he expected me to be. I'm very home-bodied. And so, I don't know. He would tell me he loves me and stuff, but what's love got to do with it when you don't act like you love me? So that can never be love. So I just see that as manipulation. So I've been torn and keep remembering him telling me about he loves me and I love him and we need to stop fighting. It makes me feel so soft. But then on the other side, I recognize his behavior, and I never want to end up in a position that I was in before. And so it's been 6 weeks now, and I haven't called and I haven't texted. And every day still I'm tormented by energy and I'm fighting it. And yesterday I was on YouTube and I responded to some comments because it was a video about empaths. And I guess being on YouTube now, I'm starting to even communicate with people, because normally I don't communicate with people unless like they see me at the shops, or I don't really like people, to be quite honest. And so I responded to a comment on there, and I was advising that, a person's supposed to trust in themselves, because I know from experience I don't trust in myself, which is why I don't know whether to tell you guys, like, that's definitely his energy. I don't know, because I like science so much and I like evidence. I'm thinking, is there a malfunction in my brain, where my brain is just regurgitating past energies that I felt, and because I maybe unconsciously, I'm trying to push away those feelings, so my unconscious is bringing it back to light. So I keep thinking of that. So it's like, I don't know, but honestly, it just feels like his energy. But then I think, if it's his energy, why hasn't he contacted me? Because he used to fucking get on my nerves. Every time he acted fuckery, I would block him, or I would just not call, and he might turn up or just randomly text me. Or not. I don't want that to happen. But I'm just saying, if I'm actually feeling someone's energy, wouldn't I see action as a result? So I don't know. He has done a lot to me. And I actually don't want to see him. I guess maybe there's this tiny part in me that's saying I do, but then I have to reason with myself and say, well, what did he do for you? Apart from how he made me feel, there's nothing else that he done. Everything I do for myself. He didn't make me feel like I wanted to ask him to do anything for me. Didn't feel like he cared about me. We didn't do anything. So I'm not missing out on anything. So every time I feel weak, I have to remind myself of that. Obviously, there's other situations where it would be harder. But even if he did do those things, if you make me feel like crap majority of the time, I don't want to feel like crap. Like I'm getting old. Like my ex made me look fucking crispy as shit. You know what I mean? And I'm not young. I don't have time for this. And ain't nobody got time for these feelings of negativity or to dwell in them. So right now, when my mind goes to the man that I loved or felt like I loved, I think to myself, I didn't know him. I look at my phone and there's no reason for him to call me. So I have to remind myself that he's gone. And he's not important in my life. Because if I sit down there and be like, oh yeah, and I miss him, and, start regurgitating things, sometimes it happens, then I'm just literally keeping something alive that's not alive. It's not actively alive. He's not going to call me tonight. He's not going to call me tomorrow. And even if he does, if I sit down there, then I'm waiting for it, which is using energy. And I guess this is where my testing comes in. No matter how much the hope might be that maybe he might come back somewhere in the background, or say like he does pop up, why would I even want him to? And I can't, there's nothing to work with. So emotions really are illogical and they don't make sense. And honestly, I think they do. But as human beings, we've been so brainwashed in our definition of what relationship should be and what life should look like that our logic overpowers a lot of our emotions. And so people like myself will fob off their emotions in order to have a logical explanation, because logic feels more comfortable and solid. So maybe he does care. Maybe he did love me. Maybe he wasn't a bad person overall, even though he acted bad towards me. Maybe he was manipulative. Maybe he's a narcissist. Maybe he's an avoidant. Whatever case, in this world, they've made it a logical thing. So it's not Avatar here. We're not living in the days of energy. So I have to accept that based on his actions, I'm not important to him. And I have to respect myself enough to not be around anyone who doesn't recognize my value. It's bad enough that I barely recognize my value. So I cannot be around people who don't recognize my value either. And I guess maybe until I start recognizing my value, which is part of the test that I'm going through, taking myself away. I don't know who the fuck he thought I was, but I'm not that bitch. I'm not. I do have that part in me. I just try and hold her down, because these people be trying me in this bomber clot Babylon land. Do you understand? So yeah. Anyway, on that note, that's all I wanted to say. Just a quick check-in with myself, and I guess you lot can check in with my brain too, because I'm about to post this possibly. So wishing you all a good day, and I hope you're all having a great week so far. All right, bye.